I guess I'll talk about Alaska first. I right out of college, I went to Virginia Tech for undergrad. I There were just a bunch of people that were going up to Kodiak where they train the Marine. They do, I guess
Coast Guard,
some
right? Or no?
mm,
We have some
yeah,
Alaska.
maybe it is Coast Guard. I thought it was the yeah, I don't remember. So someone gets trained in Kodiak, but and yeah, people just said, let's do it, let's go up. And yeah, I worked on a as a deckhand for 2 summers. I did 2 summers of salmon. It was amazing. I mean, if you can
Just
ever
like
get
the show on TV or different?
well, the deadliest catch, that's in the Bering Sea. So that's a little more gnarly. Kodiak is pretty mellow. Yeah, one summer was super stormy and cold. The other summer was pretty mild, but yeah, it was great. It was a really great experience. You live in a very small, or I lived in a very small space, um, with 3 other guys, and yeah,
Very cool.
bucket on the back deck to go to the bathroom. Yeah, didn't shower sometimes for like 2 months.
Oh my gosh.
But
Probably,
yeah,
well,
I
probably a super cool experience looking back. You're like, I'm glad I did that.
definitely, for sure. And
Yeah.
then I moved out here to Santa Barbara. So I grew up mostly, my dad was in the Navy, so we lived on both coasts, and I went to high school outside of DC. And then after college, I moved out. A friend lived out here in California. And so I thought, well, I like it here, and I've been here 25 years. I originally was a high school teacher, so I was a high school resource teacher. Um, it was part of the special ed department, but I had kids that super smart. They just had learning disabilities and just needed a little extra time. And I would help them get organized for all their classes and for after high school. And then after 15 years, I just kind of needed a break. I needed to try something different. And someone told me about an organizer that had done a meeting at their for all the managers in their department, and they said you have to meet this woman anyway. So I got her number, and she said, yeah, just come and meet up with all these other organizers and just see what we do. And basically the advice I got was, this is when people made business cards. I don't know if people do that anymore. I don't Yeah,
Yeah.
not so much.
Yeah.
It's more LinkedIn profiles and yeah, just reaching out to people. But yeah, the advice I got was just start doing it. Just put your name out there and just start organizing. And so I've been doing it, I guess, 13 years now.
Wow. So tell everyone a little bit about what you do and the specialty and
Yeah. So I started out mostly in people's homes, helping them organize their garages, their closets, their home offices. And then slowly people small businesses would hire me to help them get organized with just better systems and processes. I now have 3 LinkedIn learning courses. I think you might have to pay for the LinkedIn learning courses, but I think you can do a free trial. Sometimes they do 30-day free trial. Sometimes it's maybe two
most of
weeks.
them have LinkedIn Premium, so they get free on all their courses.
Awesome. Oh my gosh,
Yeah,
awesome.
so share, definitely share them all.
Yeah. Okay, so one of my courses is about breaking the cycle of disorganization. One is about being organized if you're kind of splitting your time between maybe in an office and at home part-time. And then the other one is about um, kind of getting on top of having notification overload and just breaking that cycle of being overloaded by all the notifications that we get on our phone, on our laptop, computer. But I can send you the exact titles. But I think if you just search my name, the 3 courses will come up. And and not just me. I mean, there are thousands of amazing courses to just check out.
Yeah. If someone can, Jet, maybe you can grab her courses, throw them in the chat for everyone so they can check them out. So talk about which of your courses or which of your advice do you think would best suit this audience as they head out on this journey?
Yeah, I mean, I'll try to give a little bit of each. And I guess one thing I would say is it's if you can well, I think a lot of people will come to me and say, "Oh, I'm not an organized person." But I think if you start with owning that you are organized, and coming out of the military, I'm imagining that you guys are pretty organized. So if you kind of own that and tell yourself, I've got this, like I am an organized person, but I would say the first step is making sure that you have an organized space to work in. So wherever you do your work on your laptop or even if it's at the dining room table, but having that space around you organized, um, utilizing on like if you're working on a laptop or a computer, keeping your desktop organized too, getting rid of, anything that you don't need, kind of I say to people, purge often and purge ruthlessly. So get rid of like, documents that are there that you don't need, create folders if you can, whenever you can. Yeah, create folders to put things. Um, Calendar, I would say utilize your calendar. If you can, sync up maybe your phone with your calendar that you use on your laptop. Um, yeah. Trying to think what else. Ask me more questions.
Why do you feel it's so important to have a clean desktop, or how does that help someone?
Yeah, because you just think more clearly when you have, I was just actually writing I send out a newsletter
Mhm.
each month, and you're welcome to, join, and it's a free newsletter that I send out. But when your desktop is clear and organized, you can just think more clearly. I mean, disorganization is just weighs heavy on us.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just can't think as clearly.
What are some of your tips for like emailing and inboxes and messages and all those notifications and all that stuff?
Yeah, I would say it's kind of like your mailbox when you bring the mail in. If you can keep on top of the junk mail that you're getting, unsubscribe whenever you can to things that you don't need anymore. You might have at one point, even my newsletter, maybe initially you like it, but then after a while you're not really reading it, unsubscribe. So that you're not getting as much in your email and then create folders. So like I just happen to use Gmail for my email. So I create folders for things that I want to save for later. And delete. If you've read it, you don't need it. You can always search for it if you needed it later. But delete whenever you can.
What's the most email message unread email messages anyone has on their phone right now? Put it in the chat. My sister-in-law has 68,000. I was like, how do you
Oh my
I
goodness.
I follow this guy. His advice is it was Jesse Itzler, and his advice was like Kyrie 90 something was on January 1st every year, like start the new year off like just he goes just delete every email in the past that that you didn't put in a folder, just clean it, so get the mailbox down to zero like
Yeah.
before and do all that. And it was so scary when I hit delete and just watching like just like years of stuff be deleted, but I'm like, yeah, screw it, I don't need it anymore. I'm done with it. But it was a cool feeling when you start out fresh.
Yes, it is a great feeling.
Yeah, yeah. What other sort of tips do you have for like, job seekers, and what could they do from to make them, I don't know, clear their head a little bit as they go through this phase of like a lot of stress, a lot of anxiety, a lot of confusion about what's next and
Yeah, I mean, I think I always recommend, I don't know if any of you guys journal, but I feel like journaling really helps to kind of clear your mind and kind of get you focused on um kind of all the things that are you're gathering right now. You're gathering tons of information, and I just feel like putting pen to paper and kind of writing some of your thoughts down
How does
is
someone do that? Like, how do you start if you've never done that before?
yeah. I mean, you could just get even like a simple like this is like oh whoops, you can't see because I have a blurred screen, but I'm just holding up like a simple CVS, $1.50 like blank. It doesn't have to be some fancy journal, but just a super easy yeah, spiral notebook or whatever
Yeah,
that
yeah,
has
yeah.
paper in it, and you just write and just kind of get in touch with what's going on. Okay, what is the source of anxiety right now? Okay, is it reaching out to people? Is it my resume? Where is it? So you kind of can get clear on it.
Is it just like free form writing? Just write, don't even think about anything?
I think so. I feel like that's the best way. And I think over time, you'll st things will start to become more clear. You'll ask yourself questions. And yeah,
That's good. Amber, you got a question for Amy?
Yes, I do. Oh, am I unmuted? I'm good.
No,
Okay.
go for it.
Um, so mentioned that you work with special needs kids as well.
I did. That's when I taught high school. Yeah.
Okay, so I have an ADHD son who with no executive function, but also I know a lot of people with PTSD that sometimes their PTSD manifests a lot like ADHD symptoms. So object permanence is an issue. Um, just simple things that a lot of people, if you put something away, it no longer exists kind of thing. Do you have any tips or tricks for dealing with that maybe, especially for people that maybe have some memory issues, things like that?
Yeah, I would say when we create so when we create like new habits, it might take they say 60 to 90 days. So it takes about 3 months. So getting into a routine um really helps when people are forgetting things or if it's out of sight, out of mind. Um So I think the more routines that we create, I think the easier things can be. I would say that's like my number one. Um, yeah.
Yeah, it's a good question.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, Amber. What are some of your favorite like time hacks or tricks? How do we get more time back in our day?
Yeah, I mean, I think, oh, okay. So, putting time, I feel like a big time waster is our phone and all the different ways that, some people play games on their phone, some people scroll whatever, Instagram, Facebook, put limits. So there are ways to put it like a, 10 minute, I'm gonna allow myself 10 minutes to go on whatever this app. And when you get the notification, go off. I think that's a great way to get time back and kind of see, um, maybe do like a time audit for a day or two. Really jot down like how you're using your time throughout the day, and you can kind of see, oh wow, I didn't realize how much time I was
I
doing
was,
this one thing or wasting time on this other thing.
yeah, that's a good one. I did that once recently. It was shocking. I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe I've spent so much time in this non-productive way each day.
Hmm.
Richard, go ahead, buddy.
Good morning, ma'am. My question is, so a lot along the lines of what Jordy had was, what are you seeing in CEOs, and what is taking up their time the most? And then what things and what ways do you combat those things that they're dealing with?
Yeah, I would say that most of them complain about having their time pulled in a lot of different directions. So if they're having to like, well, put out fires or um so I think one way to combat it is to it's called time blocking. And I'm sure most of you guys are doing this anyway, but it's where you set an amount of time and you say, okay, I'm gonna, you know, at this time I'm gonna just block out everything else turn off everything else, turn off all notifications, and I'm going to work on this one project for the next 2 hours. Um, so a lot of times, yeah, CEOs have told me like, oh no, I can't, I have to be available at all times. But really you don't. You're gonna get your highest level of thinking in if you really block everything else out.
There's a like, isn't there's studies done recently. People always say like, oh, I'm a great multitasker, and they list it as a
Um,
great quality or benefit of them, but the opposite is true, right? It's not,
right.
and that multitasking
Hmm.
works.
Yeah, they used to say,
You what?
people, oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Anymore. Okay.
Yeah,
Still
people would
skeptical.
say, oh, like they wore that as a badge of honor that like I
Yeah.
can multitask 5 things. But now we know that the way our brain works is actually when that's called another term for it is switch tasking. When you switch task, you're actually losing productivity. You're having to split your time between a few different things. It just takes you that much longer to get in the groove on what you really need to be doing.
Yeah. No, it is good. Like if you want to get something done, I'm giving myself 20 minutes, turn off
Hmm.
the email, the computer, right, and just do it. That's great. Thank you.
Yeah.
Ryan, go ahead, bud.
Hey, I want to first thank you very much for coming to speak with us. But going back to what you were talking about with journaling and stuff like that, and somebody kind of put it in the task as well, the organized chaos that some of us have kind of grown accustomed to. Like
Mm.
you can look at my desk right now and it looks like chaos, but I understand where everything is. I understand why it's there, what's in it, and stuff like that. Now, one thing that I have is I've been thinking about journaling for a while, but I have that notion that if I start writing stuff down, I'm gonna either lose what journal it was in, or as I get more and more journals down. So like, what would be the best way to try to organize a journaling session, or when you get to like multiple journals?
Yeah. Well, okay. To answer your question about, I would say an easy way to make sure you know where it is just put it back in the same place every day. So kind of like how people, the first thing they do when they walk in, they put their keys like in a dish or, hang it by the door. Um, maybe, some people will journal the first thing when they wake up. So maybe it's like next to your bed or before you go to bed. So maybe that's a good place for you. And then when you get multiple journals, I mean, I have a stack of journals that I have and it's on my bookshelf with my other books and sometimes I'll go back and kind of reread things I've written and it's kind of good to see, how much growth I've made or, some of the things that were bothering me at that time, some of the things, some of the progress I've made.
Awesome. So it sounds like it wouldn't be a bad process if someone were to start doing that, is go back and reread it so that way you don't essentially lose where a thought might be within all of those journals.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's great to revisit.
Yeah, it's good. Thanks, Ryan. Andrew.
Hi. So I know that getting organized and staying organized is kind of a process that requires a lot of discipline, right? You have to stay on top of it, do this same thing every day, like you said, build up routines. So I was wondering if there are any relevant or like adjacent skills or habits that you think are useful for this process. Like in the military, they'd always say, like doing one thing is how you do everything. Like physical fitness is important for maintaining discipline. And what are your thoughts on those kind of things?
Yeah, I mean I agree. I feel like you guys I feel like you guys are in a total advantage because you have this discipline that you have had to, you know, build up and really showcase being in the military. And I feel like that I think sometimes there's a struggle. We maybe we want to like let things go and not, we resist sometimes being organized because it does take work. It takes a little bit of work each day. Um, and yeah, I think discipline is a key to being organized.
That's good. Thank you, Andrew. All right, Amy, we have been practicing our elevator pitches, and I have two volunteers who would love to who would love to hear your advice on their pitch. Are you game?
Nice.
You want to
Yes.
hear? All right. So we got Shelly. She's gonna go first.
All right.
We're
Hi,
putting them on the
Amy.
spot, so they're go
Hi,
ahead, Shell.
Shelley.
All right. I like your glasses, first off.
Oh, thank you.
And thank you for hearing me out right now. And I'm sorry, I'm really nervous.
Okay. Take a deep, I would say take a deep breath first. Take like 3 deep breaths. You got this.
All right. Hi, I'm Shelley McPike, a 20-year Air Force veteran and certified EMT with a passion for leading people well, especially in high pressure environments. Throughout my career, I've seen how teams can struggle with burnout, miscommunication, and mission drift. I've also seen how the right kind of leadership focused on people, purpose, and resilience can turn that around. While I'm now pursuing formal roles in human resources, I've also been leading HR work throughout my career, from managing team dynamics and conflict resolution to training, mentorship, and performance development. I know how to build and support teams that thrive under pressure and stay connected to the mission. That's why I'm especially drawn to HR and healthcare, where taking care of your people directly impacts the care patients receive. I'd love your insight if you can provide it. Where do you see someone with my background making the greatest impact?
Good job, Shell.
That was amazing, Shelley.
Thank you.
That was great. So awesome.
All shaky and sweaty.
Oh, but the more, okay, so the more for a while when I was starting out, I went to this, I don't know, it's a chamber of most of you where you live, there's a chamber of commerce. It's a great way to meet businesses and connect with people. And we had to stand up and do that each month. And yeah, the more you do it, the more comfortable you'll be. So yeah, do it to as many, do it to friends and family. Just say, hey, I'm gonna practice my elevator pitch for you. But
Okay.
yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, outstanding. Really
Thank
nice.
you.
Good job, Shell. Thank
Thank
you for volunteering.
Of
All right,
course.
Tim, you're up next.
Hey, Amy. All right.
Hey.
There he is.
Hi, I'm Tim Balancet. I've worked in the Air Force for 9 years, mainly focused on airport radar, airfield, and comm systems. That means I was a guy making sure things like air traffic control systems work, planes land, fly safely, day and night, no matter what. I hold the secret clearance and an FCC ground radio operator license. I have certifications in information technology fundamentals, cyber support quality assurance, OSHA fall protection, and leadership skills. I've worked on systems from Raytheon, Thales, and General Dynamics. There were times when one faulty connection could blind air traffic controllers, and it was on us to fix it fast. Over time, I took on more leadership, training newer technicians, building QA programs, and managing assets worth millions. As I transition out now, I'm hoping to continue that same kind of work in the civilian world, something with the FAA, state work, or anywhere supporting a bigger purpose. I like solving problems, being proactive, working with people who take pride in what they do. I love learning new things, seeing new technology, and practicing what I learned. And thank you for
That's
hearing me out.
great. That it?
Love it.
Awesome.
I love, Tim, how you ended with the things that you love. I think that's really impactful. I love that.
Yeah. Well done. Good job,
Yeah,
Tim.
good job. Really good job.
Outstanding. I don't like how you said, my only critique is you said I want to be an FAA or doing something else with purpose. Like that's like pick the thing you're dialed in on and go for that. And sometimes you got to have like different versions, but I thought it was outstanding. Really well done. Thank you.
Yeah,
I
really
put these two
awesome.
on the spot, Ames, so talking in front of 300 people can be a little nerve-wracking. Well, Amy, we thank you so much. This was extremely helpful to everyone. And
Thank you
just
so
to get a
much.
little snapshot of some of your work that you've done. And we'll put your courses, we'll make them available to everyone so they can click and take them. I highly recommend them. And we wish you all the best. We thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you so much for having me, you guys.
Take care.
Okay,
Oh,
bye.
there they are. Good. There are the courses. Thank you, Jet. All right, bye, Aim. So one thing I was, thank you guys for doing the elevator pitches. One thing I thought of as you were saying them is you might want to have like a 10-second version too, right? Like I was thinking like you're out at a whatever, a coffee shop, you meet somebody and they say, "What do you do?" You might not want to sit there for 30 seconds telling them. It might be out of um might not be the norm, right? The norm would be maybe a quicker version. So you might want to also add that one to your inventory. So you have like a short, like one sentence, maybe 1 to 2 sentence. Then you can have like a 5 sentence, 30-second pitch, and then the longer 2 minute one that you would use in the interview setting. Really good though. I've been so impressed. So everyone who's shared their elevator speeches over the last couple of weeks, man, everyone is out doing a really good job with that. Really good. Anyone want to do some? We got half hour. I was sort of running out of stuff to ask her, so I ended that one a little earlier. Jeffrey, you got something?
No, I revamped both the full elevator speech and my 10-second one, like you asked.
Oh, good. Read your 10
So,
second one. Let's just hear.
okay. Hi, I'm Jeffrey Jones, project manager and 21-year Air Force vet. I've led 220 person teams, managed F-22s and RQ-4s, and drove results in high pressure, high stakes environments. I bring battle tested leadership, strategic scheduling, and real world problem solving to every mission. Let's connect.
Great. What was that? That was a 30 or a 10?
That was the 10-second.
Oh, I would cut that down. It's all
Even
good,
more.
but it's just too long. I would just like if someone picture yourself like at a bar or whatever, and somebody introduces you to somebody, it would be weird going that long with your intro, just to some random person, but maybe it's like, hey, my name is Jordy. I'm getting out of the military in a few months. Then I'm going to be, bringing my talents to the, you know, aircraft sales division. I don't know, just something quick like that. So whatever that is, I'm not good at thinking on my feet, but that I think it would be helpful to have something just more casual, something that might spark a, oh, you want to work with aircraft? Oh, that's cool. Maybe Maurice.
It's all good stuff. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, go ahead, man.
Okay, cool. How do you end these? Because it's tough to like, okay, I'm done. Thank you.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I don't know. Anyone have a suggestion for him? And it's like, again, you have to, every time you do this, it's a different scenario. You can't have just one thing you're doing, one speech, and you're using that for everything because it'll be just super awkward.
I would
Right.
say end it with a question, like a call to action question.
Yeah. Hey, tell me about yourself, man. What are you up to? Right. That like maybe that's the casual one. Maybe you have a different ending for, um, if it's more of a hiring type authority. Hey, would you like to hear more about any of these? I don't know.
Hey,
You
can
just
we
got
go
to
get
try
coffee?
different things.
Can we set up a time to get coffee? Can we connect later? We can talk
Yeah,
more
that
about
could be
this.
one. I'd be so honored to sit with you for a cup of coffee. The biggest critique I have of all the people who did the elevator pitches is just, I think everyone can benefit from um making them just a little more conversational. When I say a little,